guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video that I have to share with you is kind of a two-part video. So first of all, I am going to be doing a review for this product here. This is a scalp massager. It is by the brand Vitagoods. And I actually got this from Vanity Planet and through the site Octoly, which I've talked about Octoly a lot of times before, so I'm sure you guys are familiar with that. But basically Vanity Planet carries a whole bunch of different like gadgety type of products, and this is something that they sent me. It's a scalp massager, it vibrates and all of that. So I will link everything down below. But before I get into the actual review of this product, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about scalp psoriasis. So if you have been watching my channel for a while, you guys know that I've always been very vocal about the fact that I have scalp psoriasis. It is a big factor for me in determining products that I use on my scalp in particular. So whenever I'm considering a new shampoo or conditioner or really any hair products, I kind of have to factor in my scalp psoriasis, because there are a lot of products that just don't work for me because of my psoriasis. I've really been wanting to share a video with you guys for a long time about things that work for scalp psoriasis, but I've been kind of holding off because I've been wanting to find some like the magic cure. But as all of you with scalp psoriasis know, there is no cure for scalp psoriasis, and the frustrating thing about psoriasis is that a treatment that you're using might work for a while and then it will just stop working. So I've had things in the past that worked for me for a few months or even a few years, and then eventually my psoriasis becomes immune to those treatments and then it just stops working for me. So it's a very frustrating condition to have. So I really wanted to start this series to share with you guys. I want to talk to you a little bit more about my history with scalp psoriasis and how it's affected me and when I first had it and all of that. And then what I want to start doing is kind of like a trial run with these different products that are supposed to help with relieving the symptoms of scalp psoriasis, because there is no cure, but there are definitely things that you can do and steps that you can take to help to relieve the symptoms so they're not as severe and not as painful and not as embarrassing. So that's what I'm going to be doing. About once a month, you guys should expect to see one of these videos. Not sure yet what I'm going to title it, but I'm going to be doing these monthly kind of trials or tests on different products to see if they really help with psoriasis. So every single time I post a video where I mention in any way that I have scalp psoriasis, I get a ton of comments from people saying that either they themselves have the psoriasis or they have a spouse or a child or someone very close to them that is also dealing with scalp psoriasis, and that they would love to hear more feedback from me on what I'm doing to to maintain my psoriasis. So I think I'm really hoping that this series is helpful to you guys. I know I'm always searching the internet for new information on what can help me with my psoriasis, and I'm constantly trying out these products. I have, been doing that since I was very young. I've been trying different treatments and products and things like that to help me with my psoriasis, and sometimes they work and sometimes they're a total fail. So I really want to share this information with you guys to hopefully save you some money and some time trying products that maybe won't work. So also I do want to do a little disclaimer, because everybody's skin reacts differently. If something works for me, it doesn't necessarily mean that it will work for you, but hopefully it'll give you a little bit more direction on what to try. I know I have tried things that other content creators I've watched have said, oh, this healed my psoriasis, and I've tried it and it did nothing. So keep that in mind. Everybody's scalp reacts differently to different products. So hopefully I am able to help you find some things though that will help you in your struggle with psoriasis. So again, before I get into the actual review of this, I want to tell you guys a little bit more about my psoriasis and kind of how it's affected me and all of that. So psoriasis does run in my family, and psoriasis is one of the autoimmune diseases that is hereditary. So it's not contagious, it's not something that you can catch from somebody. It's a gene that is passed down that can be dormant, and then it can be very active. So for me, I didn't actually first have symptoms of psoriasis until I was about 12. And at at that time, I mean, you guys can all probably relate, when you're at that age, you're going through puberty, things are very stressful. At that moment in my life, I was actually being bullied very significantly, and it was a very stressful and painful time in my life. So during that time, because of the high stress and the hormone changes, my scalp went from being completely clear and never having any psoriasis to completely covered. My entire scalp was covered to the point where I had a ring all the way around my hairline that was showing of red flaky skin. I had severe scaling from the psoriasis, basically right here on this whole side and on this whole side. So like the sides of my head is where I usually get scaling. So it was right here on these sides. I would get the scaling. I had the ring all the way around my hairline, and then I actually had places on my scalp that were so raw and inflamed that they would bleed, and it was painful and it was embarrassing. I was already being bullied. I was already not very confident because I was going through puberty, and I was, not ready for all the changes that were coming happening with my body. And then I had the psoriasis breakout, and it was debilitating. It really was. I mean, it was a very, very challenging time. So my parents were great about it, because my mom was very, very concerned. She took me to a dermatologist, and he is the one that diagnosed me with psoriasis. I mostly get it on my scalp, and even at that time when it was the worst, it was mostly contained to my scalp. However, I was getting breakouts on my knees and elbows and certain areas of my arms as well. Usually I don't get breakouts of my psoriasis on my torso at all. It's usually on my limbs and my scalp, and mostly like 90% of it is usually my scalp. So I mean, in that way I feel like I'm a little bit lucky, because my hair does cover, or at least help to cover, a lot of that. But when you're 12, it feels like the end of the world when you're dealing with something like that. And not only is it embarrassing, it was extremely embarrassing, but it was also extremely painful. It was bleeding and cracking and just extremely painful. But at the time that I was diagnosed with the psoriasis, my dermatologist at the time suggested to my parents to do oil treatments, and then to use combs to kind of remove the scales and the buildup on my scalp, which was pretty painful, because they would apply the oils, but some of the scales would be really stuck to the scalp still. There were some that were just stuck to the actual hair, but not to the scalp anymore. But they would gently try to kind of remove everything from the scalp, and I feel like it helped to a certain degree, but it definitely, I lost a lot of hair during that time, and it was definitely frustrating and painful. So that's kind of where my psoriasis began. And after a while, I got really, I went to several dermatologists, got lots of topical types of treatments that, by the way, those topical creams that they prescribe to you are extremely difficult to apply to a scalp underneath your hair. They work great for body psoriasis, but for scalp psoriasis, try applying a cream to your scalp, to your full scalp. It is impossible. It takes hours, your arms get tired. And it's not that effective, because your hair soaks up a lot of the ointment, so your actual scalp is not getting as much of the treatment. So after a while, I just got really fed up with going to doctors, and I stopped. I haven't seen a dermatologist in years. Yeah, so I started getting the psoriasis when I was 12. I'm now 36, so I've been dealing with it for 24 years. And as I've mentioned, there are certain treatments that have worked for a time and then stop working, but I have found in general that treatments that are more holistic in nature have been way more effective for my scalp than anything that I was ever prescribed, or any sort of over-the-counter medications, or like any of the scalp shampoos that are specifically for psoriasis are the worst. They sting and they irritate my scalp so bad. And they never really work for a very long period of time. So I have definitely found that the more holistic herbal types of remedies that I've found continue to work for a longer period of time. So that's definitely something I could suggest to you guys, is looking into more holistic types of treatments. They're definitely been, for me at least, far more effective. So anyway, that's a lot of story time, but I just basically wanted to give you guys a history on how my psoriasis has kind of evolved over the years. And there's definitely been times where it's almost completely gone away and then it'll come back in full force. And I definitely feel like stress is a huge contributor to psoriasis. I do notice that in the times where I am more stressed out, that is when my flare-ups get really bad. So if you guys have any more questions about my history with psoriasis or anything like that that I didn't cover, leave those questions down below and I'd be happy to answer it. But I really want to get into the review of this product today. So the reason that I ordered this when I saw this on my Octoly store is obviously because of my psoriasis. I felt like a scalp massager might be a good tool to help with my psoriasis treatment. So they specifically, I mean, they don't market this to be a psoriasis treatment in any way. They basically just market it as a massager to help you really stimulate your scalp. A lot of times the buildup that is on the scalp from scalp psoriasis is, it needs to be exfoliated away, but you want to do it in a gentle way. You don't want to coat your hair in oil and pick at it with a comb. Trust me, you don't want to do that. I've done it. Just irritates your scalp more. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is to gently exfoliate, especially when you're in the shower. That's a great time to do it. And this is a good tool for that because it does have the vibration, which I already mentioned, and then it has these silicone they're silicone spikes kind of, but they're very soft. They don't feel too sharp or pokey. They feel very gentle. So what I use this for, I've used it quite a few times now. I've had this for about 2 weeks and I've been using it daily in the shower, and I've also used it when I did an oil treatment. So what I do is I get in the shower, I get my hair wet, and I apply my shampoo and rub it in the way I would normally rub in my shampoo. And then before I rinse away my shampoo, I turn this on and I give myself a scalp massage. I'm gonna show you guys kind of how I do it. It's a lot easier when your hair is wet than when it's dry. It doesn't work as good on dry hair, but I will show you how it works. So you turn it on and then you're just gonna gently massage in little circular motions. And what I do is I kind of go around my ear, and I'll just do stripes of my head, and then I work my way across, kind of like when you vacuum and you go over one area. That's what I'm doing. I'm going kind of like this all the way around, and then I do it a second time around. And I've been using this daily, as I mentioned, in the shower, and I'm definitely noticing a difference with my hair. What I'm noticing so far is I do still have some scales on this side, none on this side at all. But I had a lot more when I started using this. I feel like this is helping to really loosen those scales up, loosen their grip on my hair and on my scalp so that they can then kind of fall away. And then also I have, as I mentioned, used this with an oil treatment. So for that, usually I try to do my oil treatments once a week, but honestly, I've been so busy recently, I've only been doing them about once a month. But what I do is I take a mixture of oils, which I can show you guys that in a different video if you're interested, and I spray it onto my scalp. And I try to cover my full scalp, so I, section off areas and spray it on directly to the scalp. And then once I've the oil completely applied to my scalp and I feel like it's pretty saturated, then what I did is I took this and did the same kind of stimulation with this that I do in the shower, but I did it a few more times. Like I really took the time to really massage my entire scalp very thoroughly when I had the oils on. The reason is because when you stimulate your scalp with massage, it does bring blood flow to your scalp. And when you have those oils on your scalp, that's a good time to stimulate your scalp. It will help with the regrowth of your hair and just help your hair follicles be more healthy. And psoriasis definitely damages your hair follicles, and I feel like anything I can do to help them to be healthier is really important. So I definitely feel like that has helped with that. Oh, and I did start to say, I do feel like it's making a difference in my actual health of my hair. I feel like my hair is a little stronger than it used to be. It's just feeling a lot healthier. So I definitely feel like this is not a cure for psoriasis, but I feel like this is a really good tool to help manage psoriasis. So I feel like if you add this into your regimen with some other products that you're using, you will notice a difference. Now also, this is not, as I mentioned, just for psoriasis sufferers. If you don't have psoriasis, I still think this is a really nice product. It will help your hair grow healthier and stronger and quicker because it is stimulating the scalp, like I mentioned, and bringing that blood flow to your follicles, which will help them then to grow your hair faster. So I feel like this is just a really, really good idea. I really like the idea of this product, and I definitely recommend trying it, especially if you do have psoriasis and you're looking for something to help with that. I've been really, really happy with mine. Also, one more thing that I've been using this for, one of the problems with psoriasis is that your scalp gets very dry and very itchy. So I'm constantly scratching my scalp. I'm sure you guys have noticed that in my videos. I'm always like, always, all day long. I can't help it. It's just irritated all the time. So sometimes when my itchiness gets really, really bad, if I'm at home, I'll come into my room and grab this, and on my dry hair, I will go ahead and massage my scalp a little bit with this. I'm just careful not to tug on my dry hair at all. And that takes away the itchiness. It's just like it brings the blood flow back, and I don't know what it is, but it definitely helps it to not be as itchy. And it's far better than scratching at my scalp with my nails, because that damages my scalp even more, which will cause more inflammation and more dandruff and more, it just exaggerates the problem. So that's what I've been doing too when it gets really, if it's like where I can't stop scratching it, I come up to my room and I grab this and give myself a quick massage. That is what I wanted to share with you guys today. I really wanted to talk to you guys about this product, but also I want to start this series. Please give me some feedback. Let me know if you guys are interested in this series. I definitely have some other products that I am trying out right now that I could share with you guys in the next round. So if you guys want to see that, give this video a thumbs up, leave me those comments down below and let me know. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.